Have you ever really thought about this? Could a simple idea, if you just hear it enough times, actually make you physically sick? Well, we're about to jump into a story that shows just how incredibly powerful and kind of dangerous the power of suggestion can be. Let's get into it. So, can you think yourself sick? It sounds like a simple question, doesn't it? But wow, the answer gets complicated. Can a belief, an idea that someone else plants in your head, literally change how you physically feel? This whole story is a fascinating look at that very question. So, our story kicks off in a place we all know, a classroom. And it's full of students who are just, well, they're over it. They're tired of lessons, they really want a day off. And one of them cooks up this incredibly clever and devious plan to get one. I mean, the motivation here is something we can all relate to, right? A day off sounds great. But how they decided to get it, well, that was something else entirely. It wasn't about faking their own sickness. It was about convincing someone else they were sick. Okay, so here's the plan. And honestly, it's kind of brilliant in its simplicity. It all hinges on 3 steps. First off, they'd show up one by one so it doesn't look coordinated. Second, every single one of them would plant the exact same idea. And third, the sheer weight of hearing this over and over was designed to make the teacher doubt his own senses. All right, so now it's time to put the plan into action. And this is the point where a simple little prank starts to turn into something much bigger, a powerful demonstration of just how much our minds can be swayed. And you've got to think about the scale of this. This wasn't just 2 or 3 kids trying their luck. We're talking about the entire class, 30 students, all on the same page, all delivering the same quiet little destructive message. That is a serious psychological force. So student number 1 walks in, he greets his teacher, and phrased as this very concerned question, he plants the very first seed of doubt. It sounds so polite, so genuine, and just weird enough that the teacher would definitely notice. Of course, the teacher, who feels perfectly fine, just brushes it off. He's probably thinking, what a strange thing to say, and tells the student, I'm fine, nothing's wrong with me. But that little seed, it's been planted. And then the second student walks in and says the exact same thing. All of a sudden, it's not just one weird comment anymore, is it? It's a pattern. You can just imagine the teacher's certainty starting to get a tiny little crack in it. And this is where it gets relentless. The third student, then the fourth, the fifth, one after another after another. It's just this constant barrage. Psychologists call this social proof. When enough people around you start saying the same thing, your brain just kind of goes, well, maybe it's true, even if everything you feel tells you it's not. Okay, so this is where things start to get really wild. The prank stops being just a prank. All those suggestions from the outside start to become an internal reality for the teacher. His own mind is starting to turn against him. I mean, look at this transformation. It's just incredible. He goes from being totally confident, I'm fine, to actually feeling physical symptoms. His legs feel weak, his head feels heavy. This is a classic example of what's called the nocebo effect. It's like the evil twin of the placebo effect, where a negative belief actually creates a real negative physical feeling. At this point, he's done. He can't teach anymore. That little whisper of doubt has turned into a roar, and he is 100% convinced he's sick. So he heads home, and his concerned students, of course, follow right behind him. So he gets home, and his wife, the one person who is not in on this whole scheme, takes one look at him and, naturally, sees nothing wrong. But the teacher's new belief is so powerful that he just gets angry. He accuses her of being blind because her reality doesn't match his new one. So, she does the logical thing. She tries to bring him back to reality with some cold, hard proof. She goes and gets a mirror to show him, look, your face isn't pale. You look totally fine. And this is the real turning point. He rejects it. He literally looks at his own reflection and rejects the physical evidence of his own eyes. He's so deep into this new story that he'd rather believe his wife and even the mirror are somehow conspiring against him. It's a crazy example of confirmation bias. At this point, the students are completely in the driver's seat. The teacher has totally given in, and now they can just steer this whole situation right where they want it to go. And man, he really commits to the role. He demands they make his bed, he gets under the covers, he's moaning like he's in terrible pain. And the students, they're just playing their parts perfectly, sitting there pretending to be worried. Then, the student who started it all makes the final, brilliant move. He suggests that maybe their quiet studying is disturbing their sick teacher. And that's it. That's the checkmate. The teacher, now fully believing his head is throbbing, agrees and sends them all home. The plan was a total success. They got their day off.
But hold on, because the story isn't over. Not by a long shot. The prank might be done, but the effects are still going. The next day, the students' mothers get a little suspicious about this surprise day off and decide to go check on the teacher themselves.
So they show up, and what do they find? The teacher is still in bed. He's sweating, he's groaning in pain. For all intents and purposes, this illness of belief has become a real illness. It looks completely real. Naturally, they're worried. They ask him, "What on earth happened? When did you get so sick?" They had no idea. And his answer is maybe the most profound and incredible part of this whole fable. He tells them that he was so busy with work, he didn't even realize he had this great pain hidden deep inside of him. And get this, he actually thanks the students for making him aware of an illness that never even existed in the first place. He's completely rewritten his own reality to fit the story they gave him. And that's really what this story is all about, isn't it? It's not just a clever prank, it's a mirror. It forces us to look at ourselves and ask, what suggestions have we accepted without question? What beliefs, maybe planted by other people, are shaping our reality right now without us even knowing it? What stories are we telling ourselves?